What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Box Office Banter, and we are on episode 28. I hope if my compadres told me correctly.
It's 28.
Okay, thank you, sir. I'm relying on you because I look like a dumbass on the thing video.
If we're wrong now, you all look even worse.
It lives, yeah, because you know we all contributed
if he would have just said it and we
ups.
move on, it would have been okay if he was wrong.
Yes, and then, of course, we can dive into old Banter Bud. And the Banter Bud is
Caroline
Sweeney Todd, I believe it is.
I think it's Kaylee
Sweeney Todd.
Kaylee Swan.
So it's not a Todd. That's your dad's
It's
name.
Calgie Swine.
It's Caroline Swingset.
It's Swanson.
Samsonite.
All
right. Callie Life. Okay. Callie Sweeney. Is that right, though?
Sweeney.
Callie Sweeney.
Yeah.
Fuck yes. I'm going to take it. I'm going to put it in my pocket and save it for later.
You're going to
finally got it.
Halfway
it's
through the
fall out.
podcast.
I really will. Well, see, I got that reminder. It's like a little booklet. But anyways, we're talking about The Rental here. Have you seen The Rental? This is a newer movie by a sir named Dave Franco, not to be confused with James Franco. I was talking to my cousin about this. He's like, oh, yeah, from Pineapple Express. We were at the end of the movie, and he's like, oh, so that's James Franco's wife. And it's like, Dave Franco. So Dave Franco, little brother. Guy's like, you violated the circle of trust, fucker. That guy. From The Disaster Artist. If you watch our other podcasts, he was not the guy that played Tommy. He's the guy that played Greg. Dave Franco, people. The Rental. How'd you feel about it?
He's still going. I don't know, but I think we can get into the movie now.
What the fuck? Whatever. Y'all probably don't know who it is either.
Okay, so the cast is pretty solid. First of all, Dan Stevens is. I'm a huge fan of Dan Stevens because of The Guest mainly.
No, you
and
ain't.
Legion, yeah, Legion too.
Legion.
So I'm not good with people's names. He plays
Dan Stevens plays
Charlie.
Charlie, yeah.
Charlie, and then the one dude's from Shameless.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Lip.
Yeah,
He plays
that's all I know
Josh.
him as. Yeah, and then you got Allison Brie playing Michelle. Who is,
What I was explaining, Dave Franco's wife.
If
not
y'all didn't
James.
know, Allison Brie is Dave Franco's wife in real life.
Oh, really?
Now it's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Fuck
And
y'all.
who's Mina?
Right in the
I
booty
don't
hole.
know Nina. At first, I thought it was.
She looks familiar, though.
Who?
She did a good job.
Shit, I forgot who I thought it was now.
Think harder.
I thought it was somebody.
Yeah, but didn't
that it
think,
wasn't.
but only harder.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Shit, dude.
I
You
did
gotta
try.
give more effort.
I gave it the college try.
Okay,
So two
close
couples
enough.
rent a vacation.
No, they do
Which-
not. Don't lie.
Right off
It's
the
like-
bat, did the movie kind of confuse you? Because
No.
With
Mina
the-
and Charlie were looking for property, and I'm like, they're a couple.
Yeah.
And then Josh comes in and
Oh,
starts
yeah,
kissing
yeah.
her, and I was like, whoa, what's going on here?
It set the
Like-
seed that ruined
Yeah,
everything.
It did. Like
It did.
Yeah.
So dumb.
But
No.
Mina and Charlie are just
No.
they work together. What's
Yes.
the
Yes.
fucking word?
A partnership.
What is it?
Co-workers.
Real-
Co-workers.
Yeah, co-workers,
Are they-
but they always refer to each other as partners.
Yeah.
What was it they did though? Did they ever say what it
They
was?
did, but they didn't go into much detail.
You know?
It's not
They
important.
did
Just
say,
data.
yeah, it doesn't.
What does that have to do?
it
This
makes
is the most
movie
important
good or
part of the
not.
movie. This is what the twist sets up.
Okay,
But
so yeah, they,
Paperwork.
They're
bro.
looking for rental properties to go on a vacation, and then Charlie ends up booking one, and you figure out that Mina put a request in for it,
Yeah.
but it was denied, and then Charlie's was accepted an hour later, and that kind of started the friction or whatever between the dude that
Taylor.
Taylor,
Yeah.
the dude that's like renting the property out, and
He
the
was
group
great.
of four
which
people.
we find is not even.
It's the
Yeah.
whole.
Hang on a second here. Spoiler alert! It's new. I almost forgot to say. I told y'all to remind
It
me.
is a new movie.
So if you don't know about
Rodney
this
already
fucking
ruined
movie,
it.
kind of.
Did I?
We'll write it on the video or something.
But
Kind
yeah,
of,
they set it. They set it up from the beginning of you thinking that Taylor's going to be the one killing them or whatever, like
which wasn't cliche. They didn't know that
hunting
right.
them down, and like even when he pulls off,
I'm so glad they didn't.
because Mina and Taylor have that awkward exchange right before he leaves, and then as he's pulling off, he like stops in his truck and stares at him, and I was
You're
like,
like,
oh
here we
shit,
go,
something's going
same
down,
old shit.
and then he peels off, and then it turns out
A
it's
banana
not
peel.
even him.
Dude, Mina though. Nina, Mina, Vafina,
Mina.
Fafi, Fi,
Nina
Fafina,
with a M.
Subpoena, Mina.
Subpoena?
Yeah, subpoenas. Yeah, dude, she just seems like that friend that you're like, I get it, you have a problem right now, but this is not the place. Like, why are you making things awkward?
Bringing that up.
Like, yeah, I mean, it makes sense, but there's something we'll get to later in the movie, too. It's just like, if you just would have left well enough alone, some things you get mad about, you put them aside. You weigh the consequences. She's the kind of girl that doesn't weigh the consequences. Anger on the fucking line, and I'm going all in for it. And I got to tell you, man, movie's very well shot. The beginning almost doesn't even seem like a horror movie. You almost kind of forget you're watching a horror movie. It's just really focusing on getting you used to these characters. And that's something I really love about it. It's not jumping into it. As I will say this, spoiler alert if you didn't know, this is a slasher movie, but you wouldn't even know it's a slasher movie. And that's the brilliance of this movie, because most slasher movies are bad, but it's so good. You know, it's so bad it's good bad. You know, that kind of thing. This movie takes time to stick with these characters, and whether you like the characters or not, which we'll get into because they have some unlikable qualities within the movie, they're at least real feeling people. You believe that they're friends. You believe that, you know, these people would hang out together, and they're solid actors. And I really enjoy that about it.
I agree.
Yeah, the core four. As
Yeah,
I
that-
wrote down on here somewhere, I think they all played off each other
And
well.
the place looks dope, dude.
To that house, yeah.
And here I thought I was upper echelon. I mean, I'm not Josh, but I mean, that place looks amazing.
Does that make you feel weird? When
Y'all are getting no money now.
Oh, okay.
Damn it,
You
dude.
wrote
Now
down
you know
a
how I
will.
feel.
I need a
Monday
20,
Mayhem.
Daddy Josh. Yeah, seriously though, how dope would that be though? I mean, I'm going to these fucking
What, an Airbnb?
Yeah,
pretty
but-
much what it is.
yeah, but they're like these cabins and shit. I'm thinking
They're
I'm
like huge
I'm hot.
cabins.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm hot shit at these cabins. I see that place. I'm like, just shut it the fuck down. Like that is amazing. The cliff, the look of the ocean.
Maybe
like,
I'll have to go on vacation with me one time.
Wow.
Yeah, I might get to. I've been on like the reserve list. I got like about 3 years till I can, you know, that reservation pays off.
Yeah,
He's
so they do
booked
drugs
ahead.
the first
Yeah,
night.
they
Remember
break
that,
out
guys?
that ecstasy, and Michelle ends up bowing out.
Michelle.
She's ready for that hike, which would totally be me.
Yeah, he's ready to go crawl under some tight crevices, dude. That's his go-to, dude. And I tell you, man, it's definitely a slow build of little scares that build throughout the movie. They seem insignificant in the moment, man. Like little things, like even when what the fuck's his name? Bro? Y'all done messed me up with old. What do you call him from Shameless? Flip, blip,
Lip.
sip.
Lip.
Josh.
Philip.
His name's Josh.
Yeah,
His name is
Josh.
Josh.
That's easy enough. Josh. Okay. Yeah, I blinked in the moment. Even like little things where he's going to check out that door, which is funny because when I just went on vacation, we had a door like that right next to our bedroom, and it made us uncomfortable. Like, you mean you can just do, and you can come right in? He was going to check out that door under there, and Nina, Mina, Fofina, Fafina, Mina, came up behind him, and was like, hey, mother, and you're kind of like, Jesus, what is it? And this movie has a lot of moments like that where it kind of like guides you into feeling like, oh shit, to where you're like, I'm kind of numb to it now. I don't think anything's going to happen. And that's what sets up the ending to be so great, but we'll get to that.
Did they ever explain what was falling out of the ceiling onto the bed? Remember Michelle? There was like dust or something.
I think
She
that's
was, like,
him
wiping-
crawling around upstairs. I think that's what that's supposed to mean to me.
Well, yeah, because remember he's looking through the vents too.
Yeah, he's
Like
looking
the
through the
air
vents.
vents.
That's him. Like, that's what's creepy about it to me, especially rewatching it. Like, he's just above her, like just fucking watching her sleeping, probably crawling over to a different spot, checking his cameras type shit.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the way I always looked at it. Because she finds it on the pillow. She's like, what is this?
Yeah,
and then when
it-
she's
it's on her
sleeping,
face.
it's like, dude, you're not fucking. You're like, what is this? You look up and there's just somebody like peering through the vent. Fuck that noise, especially
can,
on vacation where you're not in your habitat, your normal one.
So yeah, the scene where so Michelle goes to bed, Charlie, Josh, and Mina are out on the deck with the telescope. That scene, I started to feel like, a little sexual tension between Mina and Charlie.
And I was like, what are they doing it?
Like, are they gonna do that? And then I'm like,
Yeah,
no, they're not.
they can't
And
do
then
this.
Josh goes in and like ends up falling asleep, and I'm like, I know exactly
yeah.
where this is going.
And I feel like her asking him, like, don't go to bed was like she might have been
Go to
lying
bed.
to herself. Not even go to bed, but like, I think it's more the other way around where she's like, don't go to bed because I think I might do this. Like, maybe she didn't think that in the moment, like in her main frame of thought, but like in the back of her mind, she's like, I haven't admitted this yet, but this might happen if he kind of goes for it too. And as the viewer, man, I was explaining to him, I'm not big on the cheating thing, but the way they handled it in this movie and what it comes with as it goes on, it serves as a nice set piece to kind of play up the tension and kind of give you something to mess with, because you need something to cling on to in that first hour before the shit goes down. You need some type of drama there, and it worked well as that kind of thing. And honestly, man, there's not even necessarily a lot going on in these beginning scenes, but there's something about it. Maybe it's the actors and how well, I think it's that real feeling of the group. It keeps me interested. Like, I'm into what's happening. I'm ready to see what's next.
The characters did feel pretty good, like when it came to
In the butt.
how we would probably act in a situation like this,
Mm-hmm.
like how we would act just getting an Airbnb or whatever. I feel like
Yeah.
it was realistic in
Even
that
dancing
tone.
with the
Yeah,
dog,
and-
that'd be Tyler.
like how Taylor comes and just drops the telescope off, and I think Mina was the one.
Yeah.
Like,
I
does
like
that not
that.
bother you that he just came in and dropped it
Yeah,
off?
that was a good.
And Charlie's,
thought.
there would always be someone like, well, he said he was going to. Like,
And that's such like I hate to be that guy. That's such like a white person thing. Like, they'd be like, it's his house, but like it would be like the person like Mina. It's like the person, or like it seems like it's always black people or people like, I'm not going around that corner. I'm not messing with that. They would be the people like, even Aida. She's like, yeah, like I'd be like her. It's the white people that are always like, oh, it's fun, anybody can come on in.
That's one thing
It's
I
whatever,
like. What they
exactly.
did with Mina's character is, even just from jump, they made her.
She was a
like-
great character.
Yeah, like
she was
the-
bad. Like, you didn't
what's it
like her as a
called?
person, but
Paranoid?
she executed it so
Yeah,
well.
yeah, it was really solid how her character came out to be.
and then like I was saying, you feel that sexual tension between
Oh, no.
Mina and Charlie.
Do we
and
get
they-
that release?
They end up getting in the hot tub together, and then they end up sharing that jet. And you're like,
that was
oh,
the
fuck.
thing. Like, let me share the jet.
You're like,
It's
I
like-
know where this is
It-
going.
and I was, I actually,
is.
I feel like a little, like a chick in that moment. I was like on edge about it. I was like, oh, is this motherfucker gonna cheat? Like, I was in the moment. Because like when I'm like, okay. And they're like, let's switch spots. I'm like, oh, okay. Jesus, they didn't do anything. Because I felt so bad for the brother too. That's the other element. It's not just the cheating. Tyler was always
brother.
bringing that up. It's the fact that it's the brother too. It's like double fuck you. So it's even more intense. I mean, imagine having to explain that to your girl, but then at the same time you have your brother that's violent as fuck, like, and also don't hit me, I'm sorry to you too. There'd be no way to be able to control that. So I was on edge, and then out of nowhere they let me have some jet again, kind of like you were
you're like,
saying.
here it
And it's
is.
like, oh no, don't do this. And even part of me, like me and Rodney talked about this, I'm like, it's kind of cliche. Don't let this just be something in the movie just to be in the fucking movie. Like, I don't need this, but of course
Yep. They start making
they
out.
got it going.
They start making out, and then they go to the shower, and they have sex, and there's a camera.
Oh yeah, okay, we're jumping. We're just
Jesus.
speeding through.
That's like the next step. I'm
But
surprised
as-
it took this long to get
As
to
they're
that.
making
Really?
out in the
Yeah.
hot tub, you
No,
notice someone's
sir.
watching them. Like, it goes to that.
Yeah, we
view-
got to talk about that. You're
Goes
jumping
to
way
the
too far
view
ahead.
of
The-
the mystery man. or
Yeah, I
whatever
love that.
That you
He's-
think is Taylor still at this point.
He's just
but-
breathing in the distance, and I love how it like came back from that to her breathing heavy. Nina, Mina, Bofina. I'm gonna say that every time, so I always mix it up. Yeah, when she's just like in the distance. The next thing you know, it cuts to her just fucking in the mirror. Like, I mean, they weren't fucking in the mirror, they're fucking in the shower, but she was fucking in the mirror. Like, now she's breathing heavy. I like just little balance like that, little bitty things like that. Make the movie more enjoyable for whatever fucking reason. And of course, they do that. And there's even some tension in the moment, too. You're like, is this the guy who's breathing outside? Who is this? And then when you see him, you're like, no. But at that point, you're already getting in trouble for making out. That's probably going to come out. He's probably like, fuck it, we're on ecstasy. This is what I do. hanging with the crew.
I knew it was
then-
going to happen.
Oh yeah, I think everybody did. It was supposed to be out
From the
there. It wasn't supposed to just be obvious. It was supposed to be like that unsettling feeling. Like, is this gonna happen? Please don't do this. Oh my God, they did it, and it did just that. It was supposed to serve that purpose.
Yeah, then they go in the shower and they have sex and they find out
there
there's
you
a
go.
camera.
Well, not right there. They just have
Jesus,
sex.
when can I say my line?
They just have
for
sex.
it. You're gonna get it.
Then-
I'll serve you up.
Then the next morning, because of the ecstasy or whatever, Mina and Charlie are down and they're not ready for the hike, and you see the like disappointment in Michelle's face. 'Cause
Oh,
she
yeah.
was excited for this hike. So her and Josh go, who went to bed early, so he's recovered
Old
more.
dude's like, sorry.
And
Felt bad for him.
the Michelle and Josh start having conversation on their hike, and Josh kind of spills the beans that his brother's like cheated on every girl
Yeah,
that
she's
he's
like
been with.
Jen or whatever. I think her name was. Like, I felt bad for her, and he's like, "Well, I wouldn't feel too bad for her." He's like, "Well,
She's
why you
not
say
the
that?"
only one.
She's not. Yeah, like, well, there was this
He
girl
did it.
Zoe, I think is her name.
And you see the realization on Michelle's face. It like all clicks for
Yeah,
her.
because I could see that. You think you're like
The one.
you excuse that because you're like, I'm that special to him. That's why it happened. Now there's a train of thought here that's got you like, there's a behavior here. And you see, of course, again, that little looming presence that I love so much. He's kind of just in the background. You don't really see him. You don't know who he is. He's breathing, watching them
Watching them
motherfuckers
hike.
now, too. And you're like, who is this fucking guy?
Yep.
Did you think it was Taylor from the jump, or were you like,
So I thought they were making it so obvious it was Taylor that it wasn't.
Yeah.
Like that was my mindset.
Mm-hmm. See, that's how I was. I felt like that was obvious and the cheating was obvious, but I knew the cheating would go down because it was essential. The other part was like, they definitely need to switch this up because it's not essential. But
then Mina notices.
Yeah, they had sex in the shower.
I was
They
like, I didn't
noticed-
even know what
they
you were
noticed
saying. I
the
was like,
camera
She
in the
notices
shower
a
head.
camera.
I thought, honestly, all the stuff y'all just said, I thought that happened after.
no, dude.
I thought it was the same night.
There was even the part, too, I wanted to say, I'm glad they didn't keep the cheating going. Because if they would have been like, this can never happen again, it cut to them in the woods and came back, and they were like having sex again, I'd be like, bro, y'all are wearing this out. It was clear
And-
they were only using it because they had to. They needed something.
And the fact that they did it on drugs, so like
Yeah.
that's the reason
Yeah.
that they cheated.
That's
that
a
it pushed
great
them over the
excuse.
edge.
Yeah,
Not that it's a
no,
great
no,
excuse,
it's
but
not.
for the movie.
Yeah,
No, I know, I'm
you
just
had to
saying.
have something, and they executed it well because it played off well. But she found the camera, and of
Yeah,
course
and then-
Charlie's like, "Oh fuck, wait a minute." Goes the other one and sets up perfectly. Like, we can't exactly call it. What do we do here? We call the cops. He can't hang on to it. He's not going to show it to anybody. And he's busted and blah, 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 blah. And they're just caught in the moment. Like, stay here for one more night. Let's ride it out.
Yeah, so then that next night after they went on the hike or whatever, Michelle takes the ecstasy by herself. That's what she said.
They're trying to
was
watch
stupid.
sea turtles on Animal Planet or some shit. She wasn't having it.
Josh loses his dog. He can't find his dog.
Oh, man, I was
Oh,
so
my
mad. No, I'm just kidding.
Tyler's got to get.
And then
crucially mad.
the hot tub breaks. So Michelle just calls Taylor to come over to fix it, like without telling
Yeah, she's
Charlie or
oblivious.
anything. And Charlie like overreacts to that, and he's like, "Why didn't you tell me what?" And she's like, "She's just coming to fix the hot tub," but he, in his mind, he's the one that has the recordings or whatever. So like
Yeah.
he was more worried that he was coming over or whatever. And then that kind of leads into the scene of
It's
where
terrifying.
Did we
and
say-
it's beyond that? It's also like you were saying too, like the dog, dude. Like he knows who his brother is, so you already got. Oh shit! You invited him here, and she's even like, "Yeah, to fix the hot tub." It's like, why would I? Then you got to be like, "Oh yeah, it's just that's a good one." Mina Bofina, she has a problem with so and so, and then I know where bro's like, "I'm gonna ask him about my fucking dog." You're like, "Oh my god." This is getting rough because I know my brother. He's gonna beat the shit out of this guy. Like, probably not thinking actually,
reason, yeah.
but yeah, he's like, and of course, when he gets there, like, what's he ask immediately? He's like, "You take my fucking dog?" Yeah, it's like,
See, he
this
could
is
have left it
horrible.
there because he got around the whole aspect of that they snuck a dog in by saying, "Did you come here yesterday or today at all?" And Taylor was like, "No," and he could have left it there or whatever. Because how are you going to take the dog if you're not there?
Did we say that it's not Taylor's house?
It was his brother.
Yeah,
It's his
it was
brother's
his
house?
brother's.
Okay.
Yeah, that was another thing I want to add in real quick. I love how patient this fucking movie is. Like, it takes its time, dude. It lets things develop. It's in no rush. If you can stick around with it, there's definitely a payoff. And then the other thing, the fuck else was I about to say? Charlie and Mina, dude. You don't feel bad for them necessarily, but you can put yourself in their shoes. I mean, not literally, because I'm not a cheating piece of shit, at least on my end. I don't think these guys are either. But can you imagine just how fucking hectic their mind was through all this shit? This is why you don't cheat, people. Literally this, because this is what happens.
You
You'll
get
see by
murdered.
the end of
You
the
will
movie.
die.
You will die.
But yeah, so Taylor comes over, and then Mina, again, it's like you said, she's the one to confront people. Confronts him about the camera in the shower head. And
Yeah, because of what he says. He's like, the whole dog thing's my brother's thing. Like, I can keep a secret. And that even sounds like, oh, yeah, motherfucker. Well, fine. Then it's on.
Yeah, the way he said it was so, I guess.
condescending.
Yeah, and
Even before
I was
then.
like, well, damn, did he?
Is he the
plan
one?
in the
There was
camera?
another part he did the same thing when he says when they get the of course she does the whole like she's acting like she's eating his ass because his fucking ass crack sticking out. That was ridiculous. But he's like, oh, it was just on clean mode or whatever, and he fixed a hot tub, and he's like, no, all good. He's like, enjoy your last night. Even that's like,
well, that one I didn't really like.
really?
think
As
too
soon
much
as I
on.
heard that, I was like, I know exactly what he means right there. Enjoy your last night alive.
I felt
That's what the movie
it was more of
trying
like
to-
a forced line, like what Tyler was saying earlier about, or might have been you.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know. You haven't said it
I
yet.
might not have been. here for that
Yeah,
one.
I feel like that line was perfectly, like not
Yeah.
perfectly, not purposely put in there to make you go like, "Is this their last night?" Just like that one, same effect. I can keep a secret. It's just that one resonates a little more because it
secret one,
led
yeah.
to their.
But yeah, so she confronts him about the
crazy.
camera, and Taylor's denying it, acting like he doesn't know what's going on. And then Josh is like, well, or not Josh. Taylor's like, well, I'll call the cops right now. And
Yeah.
Mina doesn't want him to because she knows the consequences of the video coming out. So she's trying to get his phone from him. Josh sees that, thinks there's
She
mo-
was like jumping on him,
Yeah.
and he had to like shove
push her off. So
Yeah.
Josh sees that and thinks more's going on than it really is. So he comes in
Charging.
and beats the shit out of Taylor in the fucking
Basically,
back.
It
did
really
a
looked
lip
like he was beating the shit
situation.
out of him too. Like it looked realistic as fuck.
Yeah,
The way
I
he
will
was
say that.
punching him in
He
the
beat
fucking
the shit
face.
out of him, and
the way he
then
slammed into the wall.
they like end up leaving the bathroom and leave Taylor in there, and you see this man in all black come
Yeah.
in.
And how about Michelle, dude? Like her reaction's like, the fuck happened back there? Because if you're her, you're just confused.
You're
as
high.
Fuck. You're high as shit. The other two know exactly what happened. Charlie and Mina Fofina. And then the other dude, Josh, he at least has something to go off of. Like he was touching Mina Fofina. Michelle's like, did we just fucking almost kill whatever the fuck his name is?
Taylor.
Blank and Taylor? I almost said Tyler, and I was like, what? The Taylor? Like, she's like, what in the fuck even? How did it get to that? Like, she's got to be confused in
Well,
that
Mina
moment.
tells
and
him-
that causes that.
Yeah,
It causes the whole moment.
Mina tells him like he was videotaping me in the shower. And
you
then-
know, Charlie was like, "What are you going to say here?
Yeah,
what are you going
she
to say?"
just tried to make it like he was just videotaping because they
Just
didn't.
me.
Yeah, so then they're trying to figure out. Oh, then the mask guy goes in.
And
And,
that's when you first realize it's not Taylor like
Yeah.
at all. It's another
Yeah,
person.
and you're like, "Who the fuck could
And
this be?"
I
'Cause
was
literally,
thinking it was his brother.
yeah. But
That
then you're
was
like,
who
"Would
ran
the
through my mind?
Yeah, be like, would the brother kill him? In my mind, this is where my brain went. I was like, who else could it be? I don't think it's the brother. I don't think there's some cutthroat like, I had to kill you, brother. You're loose in. I didn't think that was
let
going
the
on.
dog in.
And I'm like, well, who could it be? And I was like, I was hoping. I was like, because I like this kind of shit where there's not really an explanation. There's like a mystery to who the killer is. I love that shit. And there's mystery behind a killer where it's not just regular old Dave from work or this other creepy guy. It's the mystery of it. That's what gets me. So I was hoping that was going to be it, but I was like, who else could it be? And I started wondering, I was like, what if maybe one of those stories they were telling, like Zoe? Like, what if maybe there's a girl or something? Like Zoe came back and killed, or like, not necessarily likely, but they were at least a part of the story. It's like, she's like, and you took him from me type moment. Or like Zoe's like another guy that was involved with Michelle in the past. It's like, and you talked about how you took her from what's her name, just like, you fucking took my girl from me that night. I was like, okay, they could tie something in like that. That was something I was weighing in my mind. But I was like, it's starting to trend towards maybe it is just a random guy. And that's what I was praying for.
I thought it was Michelle at one point.
Just Michelle.
think,
Yeah,
yeah,
you
that's
said
what-
that.
yeah,
I was
out
watching it with you, and 2 seconds later, Michelle's outside. And he's like, choking him. It's just like, well, there's that. Again, I do not like this movie. But it was fucking wild. And, dude, let me say, too, the music. Once he does the shit to Taylor, and once, like, it kind of goes beyond that point, just barely, the music just doesn't stop. It's like this perfect slow build that accents the film so perfectly, and it just keeps building and building and building and building. And all those little moments you thought something was going to happen, you became comfortable with nothing happening. That uncomfortability crept in because that comfort was gone. It started happening boom, 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 and it was very effective in how it was happening.
Yeah, now they think Josh killed the guy because they found him and he's dead. And now they're trying to figure out, how to get rid of the body because they don't want Josh to go to jail because they think Josh murdered him.
Yeah,
so they're talking about dumping him over the cliff, and then they remember that there's cameras, so they'll see everything.
Yeah. I sympathize with Michelle so much.
But then, then they go outside. They take the whatever his name is, the owner Taylor. They take him out and they throw him over the cliff, and he falls halfway down. And then Josh is like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go down there and push him the rest of the way."
From this moment on, my adrenaline was up. I was locked.
And
in.
while all this is going on, Michelle is in the house, and the water turns off and on, and the TVs are turning off and on,
and that music, doom, doom, doom.
And so she goes and investigates, and she sees the video of her. Is it her husband?
Mina and her husband. Yeah.
Mina,
Charlie.
them having sex and her getting cheated on. So she goes outside and gets the car, and it's like, I'm out of here, and starts driving away. And the guy tries to stop her, like, whatever, don't go. And she's like, I've had enough. I need to go. I saw the tape. You cheat on me. I don't even know who you are anymore.
Yeah, because he's asking. He's like, well, where's the tape? Like, that's most important to him. Like, who are you? And she pulls off. And for once, he had a good explanation. Like, I feel like the whole movie kind of helped their explanations because it was like, oh, she had enough. It's like, had enough of what? It's like, she didn't like the situation, which is something I feel like we need to rewind to just a little bit, is the way, like, how hard that situation would be. Like, he's dead. The situation has changed. Like, we got to get rid of him. Like, how hard would that be to be in that situation to make that call? Like, I don't want my brother to go to jail. I don't want to fucking just call the cops. And then, like, Michelle's situation, and you got Mina Fofana talking about, like, it was wireless, so it's got to be around here. We can destroy the tape somehow. And Michelle's character just like, I'm not saying we can't get away with it. I don't want to live with that because that's a real thing.
Well, that's something I thought of. If us four went on vacation and one of us murdered somebody, would we help him cover it up?
I'm not murdering anybody.
See, I don't think it's that cut and dry, though. I feel like it's tough if it's 2 and 2, but if you're Michelle and it's 3 to 1, you're fucking haunted by that. You're like, I want no parts of this. I'm the one that wants no parts of it, but I still get it accomplished for murder. But I also can't turn in my friends because I'm close with these people. So, like, how tough of a... Like, the other people, they would be like, I fucked up. Like, the other dude, like, I was due to go back to jail. The cheaters, they would have been like, I was trying to help my brother. I was trying to help, my boyfriend. Michelle's, like, in the middle somewhere, but she's like, I wanted to call the cops. I wanted to, but I was stuck at a standstill because I can't. Like, how could I be the one to do that? Like, she wanted to. She probably even grabbed for the phone a couple times where she was laying silent in that room looking away. And it's like, we won't involve you. It's like, you're not here. And she's like, it's too late. I'm already accomplice for murder. Like, that, I felt for her so much in that situation because, like, what does she do there? What can she do? She's
she can
stuck.
get in her car and drive off. And then run over a spike trap and run into a tree.
Yeah. And dude, I've watched this movie with a couple people now, and every time they're like, really? You're wrecked right there? I'm like, just wait a second. The spike trap. Well, when I was watching with somebody else, they were like, she is on ecstasy. I was like, okay, that actually would work too. Maybe that does make sense. She's drugged out. There's at least something there.
I'm pretty sure I said wow.
Yeah,
but
but when I first saw it, I was like, what did she even wreck on? Like, it just like seemed like a weird spot to lose control. But thankfully, they had the spike trap, which led you again just like, okay, this motherfucker's prepared. Like, who is this?
She
fucker?
gets back in her car and starts texting Charlie that she wrecked and stuff. And then as she's texting, you see that the masked man just come fucking booking it from the woods right to the
truck
car door.
Yeah,
but you could miss it if you're not watching.
Yeah, and we didn't even talk about where the first tension broke, where he came up behind him after they finally got Taylor down. Yeah, where he's like, okay, we just need to get out of here, and the music goes. It's already building. It's like, and he's just walking, and you're just like behind him, and you're like, turn around. You're like, who the fuck is that? Like, you're just in that moment. You're like, what is this? Are you fucking? He's right. Okay, now we're off the rails at that point. And then you see him just the shot of him running up. A lot of people talk up Invisible Man. There's a scene I dissected where like the fucking, what is it, the boyfriend that's the Invisible Man, he comes up and smashes the window, and it just doesn't work for me. I'm like, it just didn't break the tension the right way. This is how you show someone going up and smash a window. It's there and it's gone. You could almost miss it. It's almost like a thief in the night. It's just boom, and you're like, oh shit, did this just happen? And then cuts back to other people with that boom, 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 boom with the music again, and you're just, what's happening right now? The what's happening factor that has your mind racing is off the fucking charts, and it's so fucking good.
Yeah, and so Michelle texted Charlie, so he goes to see what's going on with her. Finally gets to her, and she's not in the car. So he calls her cell phone, and it's, 20 yards away from the car, and he's like, what are you doing? Talking to her or whatever, and then gets over to her and sees that she's dead. And then the dude jumps out with a fucking hammer.
The music, not the music, that phone over there, that was great.
So Michelle and Charlie are dead now.
Oh my God.
And this is where I had wrote down about the music. Like, I love the suspenseful orchestra music that was playing the whole time, the last 20 minutes
dude, it was perfect.
of the movie.
Yeah, it was amazing. Really built the scenes, dude. And my God, dude. Of course, you finally see how many cams he's got in the house. And, of course, this motherfucker's in the cloud, bro. He's over there, like sending shit to these motherfuckers. Like, he has such a perfectly mapped out plan. He's like, I got this timed out just right. I got this timed out just right. And when they went under the house or whatever, where Josh was looking under, where Mina popped out and scared him, when he's under there, he's like, man, I thought there's just going to be a bunch of cameras and everything up here.
Control room.
Yeah, and everybody I watch this movie with is like, why did they split up? And it's like, dude, that's what's so great about this right now. Like, they don't even know there's a fucking killer. Like, this deep as we are in this movie, the other two people are dead. They don't even know a killer exists. That does not equate to them. So them splitting up is just them being normal. Like, go look for the camera up there. Like, that makes sense for them to split up. And, of course, you have that tension again, which was very well done with the door that, like, closed when he was going over the door. You were so built on, like, something's going to happen, nothing happened. And then out of nowhere, everything was happening, and it had you on that wavelength now. So when you were going to the door, you were like, oh, fuck, and nothing happened. You're like, okay, Jesus Christ. Movie plays with your emotions very fucking well. And, of course, he does go upstairs, and he does see the fucking phone, and...
Well, yeah, it was... Charlie's phone was texting him.
Yeah.
And like sent him the video or whatever, and then that's when he goes,
he's
pissed off, and he's running through the house trying to find Charlie, and that's where they give the shot of all the hidden cameras throughout the house, and you're like, this dude has more cameras than just in the shower, like, it's
everywhere.
The whole house is rigged
up.
So I did like that shot.
And they play with your emotions again. You're like, okay, he's going to be here when he opens the door. He's not there. And you're like, okay, he's definitely going to be here. That's where the music builds to. Oh, he's not going to be there when you open the door. And then right when you're like, okay, where the fuck's he go? Oh, shit, there he is. Yep. It has a good self-awareness of when to pop shit out, when not to, when to pull it back, 100% on that account. And then you're left with, only one. And I love the creative decision to her come downstairs. Well, I guess it's not technically only one yet, but she comes downstairs and he went back into the closet for her to see him, Josh, on the floor, and then she looks up and he kind of slowly comes out and just walk at her, like Freddy Krueger, Jason, all those kind of guys. I guess Freddy kind of runs, Jason does every once in a while, but you look at them and you think of more of a walking type character. He's running up the steps after her. And Josh gives that last, like, come here. And he's just like, man, fuck this. Turns it around. Bang.
Such a brutal kill.
Right
too.
in the fucking head, dude. And then it's on. And this dude isn't, you know at this point, like, this guy isn't fucking around. Like, he's after you. He's not walking. I'm not trying to scare you anymore. I ain't even doing none of that. Now it's me and you, mano a mano, final girl. I'm hunting you the fuck down. And she was smart enough to, like, throw a shoe over or whatever. Sounds kind of dumb, but at the same time, he can't find her in the room. Like, oh, did she jump? Okay. Let her downstairs, and then boom. I'm going from there.
And then the killer starts chasing Mina through the woods or whatever.
Yeah, he popped out at her like a motherfucker. She hit him with that, whatever it was, like a knife or something in the face.
Something in his face, and they go running through the woods.
That scene was great.
And then they had
What
kind
a
of
well-shot scene.
reference. I like how they did it with Taylor. They set up his death with he was so drunk he just stumbled off the cliff. And they mentioned cliff like a couple times throughout the movie. And then Mina's running through the woods or whatever and just runs off the side of the cliff.
Just so scared. And the shots of the killer.
The shot
in
of the dude.
Fog
Yes.
was so in the music building. Like you saw him that first time, you're like, oh shit. And then she sat down for a second. She had that moment where like, I got to keep going. And then when she keeps going, it's like dun 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 dun, and he's just sprinting. Like I'm talking, like looks like Usain Bolt behind her. Like only can imagine.
The final shot though, where he's looking over the cliff after she walked off, and like the silhouette of him with the fog coming through. I thought that was a nice.
Yeah, the use of fog
shot.
in this movie is amazing. There's a great atmosphere to it all, the tension and everything. Amazing.
And then the killer goes back to the house, and you see that he cleans everything up, gets all his cameras. You see that the receiver they were looking for was in the attic the whole time. He gets all his stuff, and he goes to another house, another Airbnb, and sets up everything.
Yeah,
and
that's
you
what he
realize
does.
that's what he does. He just goes from house to house
Cases
and
the
murders
joint.
people.
Even sits like on the couch before they come with the mask on, almost like he's getting in character. And you can tell it's a character to him because he even looks in the mirror for a long time, almost like, who am I? What's it? And then he finally takes the mask off. There's something to all that. Like he's in character with this. It's not just him with a mask on. This means something to him. And I love the creative choice to not show who it was.
His
Again,
face,
it keeps the mystery. And then Tyler, I know, was elated. The dog was alive.
Yeah,
That was a
at the
big
end.
moment for him. He's like, the only person that survived was a dog. And that's not a person per se, but you know. And it's just the whole ending, man. It set it up perfectly for what could be. Like, I mean, you could do at least definitely one sequel to this. I mean, come on, dude. All you got to do is set up as another movie with another rent-a-home type place, Airbnb as you like to put it, and bang, you're right there. And it shows
Honestly, all
the-
they would need to do is just continue on where they left off, because
That
we don't know
new
anything
house.
about the new house with the new people.
Mhm.
So let him just wreak chaos, and then one of them kills him. That's that. You know, two good ones.
So what's
Yeah.
your all's score for this movie?
Shit.
I gave it a 8.3. I really enjoyed this movie.
I gave it a 7.2. It's a good movie. Brandon kind of talked it up a little
Oh, yeah.
more than my expectations were a little higher than I think they should have been going into it. I'll say that. But it's a good
Probably.
movie. I gave it a 7.2.
No, I even said before you went into it, maybe you didn't see the message, maybe our little message group. I was like, you won't like it as much as I am. It fits what I love in a movie. And that brings me to what my rating is, which is a 9.2 out of 10. This movie is beyond great to me. I'm the slasher fan, and the fact that we have a slasher movie that isn't just, terrible actors that are, so bad it's good. It's legit actors, and it's a movie that takes its time, which I love. I love the slow burn of it. The characters were fucked up. They were, some of them were fucked up people, but they were good. Like, the actors were good, and they had, kind of arcs in a way within the story as much as you could have. The realistic, just the realism of the situation. We just always are doing this kind of thing. We're going to a cabin, and we're just expecting that the person renting out to us is not a killer. The person before us ain't gonna make keys. Like, this is such a simple thing that can be done, and it's so real, and it's so, just haunting, man. And the slow burn of it all built it up to where the last 30 minutes was, oh shit. And you're kind of wondering, I heard even some people I watched it with, like, she's the final girl, like, what's this? It's not about that. The fact that they could have a whole movie, like an hour and 10 minutes of it, whatever the fuck it was, where it was about them, but in the end, a person we haven't even met yet, it was about a killer. It was about the killer more than anything, and it sets it up for it to be the killer's movie, and he was nowhere to be found at all for the longest time. It's just brilliant to me for this kind of film. I gotta give it up to it. It shocked me, but realistically, I could see why people would give it a lower score. But for me, this hits every box that I love, and it knocks it out of the park. One of the better slashers in a long time that I've seen.
6.3 for me.
Fuck you.
Yeah, I just had my issues with it. So.
Yeah, I don't understand that one, but I do feel like it should at least be a 7.
I will give it another watch at some point, but I don't know how much better it'll do.
Yeah, slowly talk you into it, maybe.
Tyler, Instagram.
Instagram. Follow us on Instagram at the official Box Office Banter. We post clips and the link to the podcast when it comes out.
Pee.
Facebook, Box Office Banter Movies. Movies is all caps, 2 O's. Join, invite your friends. It's a fun group. YouTube,
Please.
Box Office Banter.
Please.
Subscribe there. We're at 40. Let's get 41. Can I get 41? All the videos are on there. Spotify, the official Box Office Banner. Listen to our podcast anytime, anywhere. That's it.
We love you.